to find it?
I don't know. I mean, I'd avoid this place. This is where it happened.
Yeah, there is definitely an energy back here.
There's been a lot of upsetness in here.
Somebody did naughty stuff back here. A little bit on the occult side.
Unexplained Cases is supported by Carrie Nyan and Cullen Therapies. So many worlds have been spoken into existence from the playgrounds of our imaginations. Fascinating worlds filled with intriguing characters of both good and evil aspirations. In Columbia, Maryland, there's a place designed to fuel imaginations. DoodleHATCH is an interactive children's museum located in the Longreach Village. Its walls contain created and donated art pieces and sets designed to inspire and engage minds, where children and adults can focus on play by setting aside the busyness of the world. There are many areas within the museum to play and let the imagination run wild. Yet, these walls seem to contain something beyond imagination, something unexpected, and something that caused one staff member to reach out in search of a Maryland-based paranormal team for help.
I've been volunteering here since October of 2020, and then I started working here between January and February of this year. Lilou was telling me about everything that was going on here, and we were thinking we needed to reach out to another paranormal team, and fortunately I was able to reach you guys through a group that I follow called She Haunts on Instagram. I asked her to do it anonymously because obviously it's a sensitive area. It's a museum for families, so she did that, and you guys were the first ones to answer the call. It was somebody telling me about it. First, about the energies that they were feeling and the things that were happening to the people that were here, like getting sick, things moving around, disappearing, and then they were hearing things. I've been getting gifts. Outside of here, I would see random parts all the time, but here I found this in the back room. Well, a couple years ago, I kept it. And recently, this year, since I started working here, this was found at my Halloween Christmas tree. Lilou found that. She's like, oh, it wasn't there, and suddenly it was. And we have a fondness of rabbits. My son was here one day. We were visiting. He gives me this heart he found. So by the cauldron. It's like, here you go, Mom. First, I thought it just popped out of nowhere. He's like, no, I put it in your pocket. And then when I was cleaning up and closing the doors a couple weeks ago, I found this horse that just dropped out of nowhere. I'll add, like right here, when I was picking up last week, I felt a warm spot. I just walked in, it just felt like it was a warm space right there. Everywhere else was normal, and then that felt like there was a heater there. And then every now and then, even if Lilou and I are talking, especially about the goings-ons here, we'll feel something touch our arm or our leg or something. As I move around here, when I come in to open up or when I close, I just talk to everybody where I think it's inhabited, and I'll just say good morning, like here's here to work with you today, and it could be a busy day, or this is what we have going on. And then usually I just ask everybody to behave when I leave and say thank you, good night, I'll see you next time.
Since October of 2024. is when we started to come up and volunteer at the museum. Yeah, Lilou had told me about, the spirits and encounters in the museum. There's only been a couple incidents here where the first time I came up to volunteer to do the craft with the children, I couldn't find my bag of fluff that Lilou had left for me. So I'm looking around everywhere, and I go into the back room, not quite where they film, but right before that. And it just felt like really heavy and angry and dark. And I would say out loud, I'm just here looking for my bag of fluff. I'm going to leave in a couple minutes. And then I left.
I also had an incident happen in that back storage room. Ginger and I were getting some material to start one of our sessions with the children's craft. She had ducked out to go grab something to verify if we had it out at the space. I had turned my back to the exit door, rummaging through the bins that we had back there, when I felt someone walk up behind me, and assumed it was Ginger coming in to let me know either she had found it or we needed to continue looking. But when I went to turn around, there was absolutely no one behind me. I did a double take, make sure that I wasn't missing anybody to either side of the vast space that's back there, and I went back to looking for what I needed for. But it definitely made it really uneasy at that point to feel like somebody was either watching you or was around the corner and about to come back out at you. So I was in the kitchenette area before we had craft on a different day. I was making myself a cup of tea, getting myself some sugar in my cup, when I heard a rustling sound. It sounded like some of the kids horsing around in an area that they were not supposed to be in. I set down my supply and went to turn around the side of the countertop to inform them, hey, you guys aren't supposed to be back here. But when I got around the side of the corner, there was nobody there. The noise had stopped. I didn't see anyone in the area of sales. Didn't see anyone in the area where the clothing was set up for display. There was no children in the area that I assumed that there was. We were doing a craft where we were doing dough ornaments, and these dough ornaments are microwaved to get hard. So a lot like Christmas tree ornaments that people make during the Christmas time, but we were making just fun shapes that particular month. I had started putting some of the ornaments in the microwave to harden them up for the children, and I heard what I thought was a giggle. Kind of like a scoffy giggle, like again, thinking somebody was either coming up to tell me something or around the corner where they shouldn't be. I stopped and went around the edge of the kitchenette, again to find nobody there. A lot of the feelings that we end up getting are kind of more of those like, ha ha ha, you can't see me, I got you moments, versus anything that's really out to get you in any way.
Sue connected us with Lilou Altman, the store's manager, and easily the one person who has had the most paranormal experiences in the museum.
So this was Memorial Day weekend. I was sitting here with someone who was doing readings, like tarot readings. This wasn't here, the table here. I had a clear view here. She did not. She had her back to this thing. So this is exactly what it's all of a sudden. So see, it's not like it comes undone easily, but it was this side, the right side, went like that, okay, and then like that. And I thought a child had gotten in there, so I get up. I opened the thing and I was like, hey, you can't. And as you can see, first of all, that's exactly, the doors have not changed since that weekend. That's so the kids cannot just run through, but they try to. I don't know why. All they're going to do is run into the wall. And there wasn't a child. And also there was like, she was saying that there was like, it felt like a heat source coming from up here. And as you can, I don't see any vents. And also over there, it always smells like something burning, like in this corner, for years. And I'm like, and I would say something to the county, like, can you check the wiring? Because, I don't want the place to burn up. And they're like, there's nothing over there that's like a power source. Okay. Today, we had an incident with the hatch, the little security hatch with the alien. So, see, it's ajar right now. If you open it, it's supposed to go off. Whenever I told you about it, I was at my desk. No one was in the. It was a Saturday. No one was in the museum, and okay, the parents said that the child did this, and it came on. Now, do you see? And when I came in here, it was on, and I'm like, again, doing exactly what I just showed you about. Let me turn this off because this was off. Everything was off, you know. But you know, I mean, it's like doesn't make sense. So yeah, today, and the little kid was just like, I didn't touch it. I was like, what do you mean? Didn't you open the hatch? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't. You have to now actually flick it. So I came in, it was like this, and I flicked it off. It's not as loud out there, so it took a minute. And then I'm like, what is that? And then I came in and saw. So that happened a couple weeks ago on a Saturday, and it happened today with a child. Nothing's around me. All right. Oh. How many blinky lights? I'm only letting you know because I really tried to debunk this. So shadow, like it went here. It was like lumpy. I don't know. Could be nothing, could be something.
As we began digging into the history of the property, the land, and the area, we also wanted to do a walkthrough. On any investigation, this allows us to literally get a feel for the space, as well as perform EMF sweeps, and note other possible explanations for paranormal experiences. Marc Mazor is a skilled medium and paranormal investigator we first met while documenting the hauntings of the USS Constellation and Torsk in Baltimore Harbor. I documented both Mark and team member Mike Chin as we roamed through the property. It should be noted, Mark knew nothing about the experiences or encounters of others in this space while navigating through the property.
Again? I said there was a woman, I don't know, she's about yay tall. Just as you were talking, it was just in my mind, I could kind of start to see a little bit of an outline.
Was that like in front of the...
Yes, right in front of the door, kind of halfway between the microwave and the door there.
Could you tell age?
She seemed to be a bit of an older lady. She had, I think, grayish hair. Yes, you could sit there and close your mind and just say everything is the wind, or the coincidence, or that's a weird thing to have happened and never happened before, but it's not paranormal, and you're going like, you know, you're crazy if you don't think it is.
Or things are happening and you're feeling it, but you just shrug it off for something else, and then you go.
But you don't want,
once you start, oh, okay, now that's what that was.
But you don't want to do the opposite. You don't want to go everything is paranormal.
Yeah,
for sure. Got to debunk. I don't know. I got Susan and I got a Sally, so maybe not. And then down in this area here, when she was talking about the machine down there operating by itself, it was just like, yeah, I can see right down there at the dead end, kind of where that at the end of the sewing machines, there's that rack facing us with a brown coat there, or clothing.
Is that more of a feel like an attachment type of thing down there?
No, it's a person who used to stay there a lot. So I think there's a lot of residual energy with the bed and a little bit of the it is the person who made the bed. Maybe a lot of adults after having their children over here laying down there like, my God,
Oh
is this
yeah.
ever going to end?
Got a lot of electrical panels there too. I'm feeling it more so right in here. Just like this very lightheaded every time I walk right through there.
Could it be?
The heater?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was right underneath. You're underneath that.
Yeah, true.
That comes to question
Could be.
if it's environmental in that sense.
Well, that's why we do these things, to question what we feel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now here comes full body chills again.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Actually, I'm feeling a little queasy-ish on the stomach, which I very rarely feel.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if I didn't have this on, basically, I feel like my hairs would be standing through this. Because, man,
Yeah, there is definitely an energy back here.
Yeah, they're associated with this, with the woodworking, too.
oh,
And it's not necessarily attached directly to it, but it may have just been something they did in their lifetime.
Mm. The people that were the people that were actually making this stuff are here, or
Yeah, I just know whoever it is here likes the woodworking.
right?
So. Oh man! All right, feeling lightheaded now.
and I was lightheaded earlier.
This is the area we came in when we first felt it.
Yep,
Mhm.
right through these doors.
Yeah.
Mhm. She turned on the light around this corner.
Man, you could feel the tears starting. I mean, like
Oh, really?
you feel just before you
Emotion?
cry or something like that. Yeah,
You gasped. That's why I was curious.
some sort of sadness up here.
Okay.
Mm. Also, there's a box right here too.
Oh, yeah. That electrical panel.
Now the question is would that electrical panel make me feel one way versus multiple ones down there making me feel a little bit differently? I mean, I'm glad of this area here. This is the woman who has the cancer and,
Mhm.
and all the other stuff. But when I described it there to Lilou, it's just she confirmed everything I said about her whole attitude and her whole her whole personality profile and everything. And then I got the pain up here, and then it turns out that's what cancer
That's
is and everything like that. So I'm kind of happy. It's kind of
Affirmation.
Yep.
Yes.
Affirmation.
yes, and that it can come so quickly and easily from somebody who's there and can say yes, yes. So,
Yeah, because you don't always have that.
No.
Someone to verify.
and it's kind of funny. She spilled the beans about one thing earlier, but it was just kind of like, teaching her she doesn't have to.
So let me ask you. So, like, if she's got like stage 4 cancer and she's in here, can she attract an energy because of that, or leave an energy as well?
Yeah, we're emotionally changed. Our energy fields change,
Mhm.
and sometimes that attracts. Sometimes it's maybe some of the I won't say demons because I don't think, but there's badder entities, maybe some of them are elementals and some other ones on the other side. They might perceive this and they try to, hit the weak spots
Right.
in people, some of them. And sometimes they just do it as because they can. Oh, just give me your impression of this area here.
Pressure on
Yeah, I'm feeling the whole chest cavity and everything like that, and this is the brown thing I was telling you about earlier. It was right around this area here. This is kind of her space, and we don't mean any intrusions here or anything like that. But this is what we're here to do, is to pick up on you. acknowledge you that you're here. They always like to be acknowledged. I think I make more friends with them, and they maybe interact with me a little bit more because I can, okay, here, I pick you up and talk to them a little bit and acknowledge. I mean, can you imagine being in some place for just a few years or 100 years and people just keep walking by you? You can't interact with anybody. You don't know necessarily how to move on.
It still doesn't feel like malevolent or anything back there. It's just heavy energy. I don't know if you feel if it's like a more like.
Oh yeah. And it's just a few feet. You're not right as you step in necessarily, but you can start to feel a little bit, like at 5 or 10% more.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, about 10 steps later, and it's just like, at the 80% level.
Well, with the stories that she's told, it sounds like it's more playing games with you. Like, let's have some fun, or, I'm going to hide this from you, and, here, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
well,
and being in a place like this too, I mean, it's like, I guess they're going to have fun.
Wow. Right here. Can you guys feel something different? Like actually, it's like somebody extended and moved into this area.
That was almost a perfume. Almost.
Might be the woman we were talking to, or
Could
some
be,
other woman.
or
Well, there's flowers there, but I mean, I'm just feeling a little different level of energy, kind of that pressure type thing.
yeah, and
I'm feeling it in my back.
Next, Lilou joins us to validate and elaborate on details we've experienced and uncovered during their walkthrough.
Okay, she came over and she's like, well, this woman, and this is how you this is one of the entrances. Apparently, she just said went through the curtain.
Yeah.
And it had been after we had literally just put all this up to start promoting for the event space. So, because there was like scarves and all this up here. And then she had this little, it was very like a bright orange bag, and it was on the front of the desk where it appeared again. Because she was like, I think someone took it. I don't want to, blah, blah. And she was really upset. And then I'm walking over there. It wasn't there. I come back and I said, okay, well, let's retrace your steps. Turn around. There it is. That's a first.
Yeah.
We've had things like disappear and appear. That was just a blatant in your face. And then I'm worried that someone's back there. And I'm trying to that's the thing is, I'm like, okay. But she couldn't describe the person. Yeah, sometimes it feels like you're not necessarily alone in the kitchen. And you're like looking back, you're like, and it's like little stuff like that. Not so much. It's just kind of, you get that vibe, like I'm not by myself.
What do you pick up? Do you pick up anybody or anything in the kitchen?
It just feels like there's someone either like standing right there, and you're like.
Well, you picked up between the doorway and the microwave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the spot I was telling him about earlier. And that's where we were getting ready to leave there, and I saw a woman about your height.
Okay.
Maybe a little higher, but she kind of had this grayish hair and everything like that kind of there.
So an older lady.
Yes. I don't know why she would be hanging around the kitchen area there specifically, but you would, if you knew anybody to associate with, then you would have that information.
Well, okay. So we've had not a death in here, but a death that was associated close to us. See, now I'm getting the tinglies again. So her name was Reva. Reva was Al's sister, so Lee's sister-in-law. Mm-hmm. And we all knew her for many years. She committed suicide during COVID because she had the onset of dementia. And that was a huge, we saw her the night before. And she just decided that's, because she didn't want to be a burden on her brother. It was a huge thing. It was the first time I've known Lee over 12 years, and that broke her. I can show you where her desk was. It really was like a shrine for the longest time. But she had short, I'm trying to think, was her hair starting to turn gray? But
well, sometimes it was kind of light colored, and it could have been associated with just her apparition.
It could be anybody. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and so that's someone that was close to the inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
that we lost. The machine that Lee likes to use will be either this one, okay, and that's where the pedal thing was going,
Mhm.
and that was freaking me out because it was like this whole. And they actually they had gotten it on video, I think, because you know how it's dark, but you can. That's what it was.
Okay.
And they saw my reaction. I mean, I was behind them, and I was like, "Wow."
Now, was it the sound, or was there also movement of the
It
pedal?
Well, we were here because we could hear something, and then it was like it was dark. You couldn't really see. You could hear it, but when we were it was because they all have a different sound. That's why we were okay, it's that. So cutting tables. This is where Reva's desk was. We basically did not touch her desk for probably a little over a year. Her sweater was right where it was. Everything was still frozen in time. And I'd put flowers, we were putting plants. I'd put flowers and stuff. And we were told people, do not touch it. Do not come near it.
So did she, trying to figure, so this is the area where we felt. And when we walked through here, we were fine until we got up. It was like a barrier right here.
Really?
And then I walked there, and then he walked right behind me. And I deliberately didn't say anything until he got up through it on the other side. And I looked at him and I said, did you feel that? And he was just like, yeah, you did too.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Here's Reva. That was a long time ago, but this was back at the old space. There's Reva. That's Lee. Now these are pictures of Lee and Al over the years. And this is Lee's desk. And that's where she was resting. Another investigative, the one team that came through, we saw a black, how you could see it with what, I forget what they had. It was a black mass hovering over here. And they were like, well, that's different. That's why I want to know who or what or how many, because if it's an older lady, maybe she loves having the fact that we're doing all these dresses and couture and this whole thing. And, and then I told you about that someone saw that it was a young man that looked like one of the people that work here, and it freaked out the father because they're like, I'm just going blank.
Doppelganger?
Yes, doppelganger. I said, I almost said Digimon. I was like, that's not it. That's not it.
There's so many terms.
So many.
That's a Pokemon, I know.
Would that be, oh yeah. And they said that they don't try to make me leave.
Oh, don't try to make me leave.
Okay, but they didn't pick up on a female. They picked up on, have fun back here. So anyway, this was all super dark when we turned everything off. I think someone said they saw a shadow figure. I'm just telling you what they were saying. That kind of crossed.
I think there's somebody back here. There's actually two entities. One is somehow attracted or tied to this area, and the other one is, I'll just say, like a drop in.
Okay.
And I think that's because I'm sitting there and I was just trying to pick up and look at in depth at stuff here and everything like that.
Again, everything donated.
Yeah. Well, not just the objects.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden I was just naturally like, oh, and I don't even think, it's just like my head moves like that. And subconsciously I'm following it.
Okay.
It'll make my head move. It's involuntary. And no, but one of the things I do, I discovered is, okay, if you want to see whether something is there or not, you look at the wall and then you try to imagine the space where the shelving is and then move forward a few feet and try to imagine yourself seeing that area, this exact spot in space right here is where you're looking. You're not looking anything behind it because that involves your consciousness. And then you try it here. Can't even tell you whether it was a person or some other type of entity. They're attracted here. Nothing here. I felt maybe some people had a little bit of anger issues, and that was it. There's nothing really, nothing evil or really harmful here.
Okay.
Some of them are just like, You know, like I'm not in the mood to have people walking over here and gawking at me.
And that's
trying to find me.
probably, yeah, why they kind of go.
And they try to be
Real
nice
quick.
about it. They said because in here we find a lot of barriers,
Mhm.
and I think that's what they're doing. It's just like, okay, you know, that's my turf from here over, and then you
And
walk
yeah.
into it, and then
Oh,
it's
I'm
just
sure.
like,
And that would make sense because people do feel wiggy when they come back here.
yeah. Now over here, I was telling them earlier when I came out of here and I was just trying to sense stuff. The wood's kind of a natural product and everything, trying to pick up residual energy.
Mhm.
But it was just like, I can't say that it was any of the workers or anything like that, but it's just somebody, maybe a carpenter, or they just like building stuff, and they're kind of, this is kind of a tool area where you build stuff.
Johannes, who was described like the other person that they were saying, his name's Johannes. He's about 17. He comes in and he's kind of like, doesn't come in on a regular basis, but he's like, he matched the description that the person was saying, like, because he likes to wear like the little derby hat.
Uh-huh.
He has like literally every time a white shirt, suspenders, the pants. So that's what freaked everyone out. Like, well, Johannes is alive.
Okay, it's actually like an attachment to him, I think.
They had the thing that reads the heat signature. Awesome. Excuse me.
Yeah, thermal camera.
Little footprints, right? So
Wow.
it was like footprints, footprints, footprints. They're freaking out. I'm like, let's go. Keep going. And they're like, well, you know, they turned it off, turned it back on. They're like, oh, maybe it was a mouse. They were like, footprints. Yes, like a shoe prints. It was awesome. And then one of the ladies had a walkie-talkie type thing, and I was behind her, and literally just went, whoop, freaked her out. Yeah, I'm like, oh, and I was like, so it ended till I don't know, they were freaking out, which was, I mean, I was just like, let's go. Over here is where the issue happened.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah, there's just somebody over there.
Are they hanging out in the clothes?
Yeah, if you go right straight down the tiles, right down to those racks, about 5 feet, 6 feet out.
So over here, if you dare, come through. So these are again, these are all costumes that have been donated. Because when we do Rocky Heart Grants, who's our costume guy, he has been collecting. So a lot of this is vintage stuff. A lot of this is, and we have wedding dresses, which I'm sure there's a lot of energy off of when people want to donate a wedding dress.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really want to go. All right, let's all go in together. We'll do it as a group.
Close the door behind you.
No, not yet.
I was about to say, do we not like coming back here?
This is where the where's the lights?
You need a light to find it?
I don't know. I mean, I'd avoid this place. This is where it happened. We didn't have the gentleman from Rocky Horror had the guy or had the voice that was like, right in his ear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and light switches are seeing that wall there.
I don't know what Grant uses to get in here, but it's usually lit in here. But
Man, I got the full bodies going on now.
Mm. All right, let's go. People that go in there, now Grant, I've never asked because not everyone believes in stuff. So they're just, I think, they're just immune to whatever. But one of the cast members of Rocky Horror who plays Riff Raff, he went in there to change because he was running late. And our green room is like over there behind where the chairs, there's another area. And he came over to me during intermission and he's like, I tell you something, you were right. I said, about? And he was like, well, I went over on the other side where you said not to go. And I was like, okay, why? And he's like, why did you get changed real quick? So he went in here, he was getting ready, and then he heard clear in his voice, he was like, I thought it was funny. He's like, I said, so don't be late on a performance night.
They're quiet.
Okay.
There's a lot of days. Are we got like a party in the building type thing?
Trying to decide if they're attached to the clothing or to the spot, to the land.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. it's not just one thing.
There is definitely
Okay.
not just one.
I just need to know like what audience, because one of the things is like if anyone's unhappy, like we want to have a nice relationship. I know that honestly, I'm just remembering because like the actors, we all like left our stuff back here. A couple things moved around, but again, a lot of people in the cast are kind of like they knew that we had some. We're like, oh, sorry, you know, for the we try to like live peacefully together, but again, they're all thinking it's like one person doing all this, and it's not. Apparently, we've got lots of friends.
This is one area I respected the feelings of. I feel like a gentleman here and a woman over here,
Okay.
and they get a good view. I mean, maybe the horses or something like that, but it's just like they kind of like the view from this area.
Mhm.
So they kind of stake themselves out here, and they get to see all the children and the adults acting like children and children acting like little brats. But you know, so they get that's what they are. They're just
You just hang out here.
the pitch in my ear just changed.
I hate it when, I mean, not that I hate it, but I didn't know for the longest time
Now it's gone.
that you, like, I get them frequently. And my, like, person I go to, my Reiki person was like, stop ignoring it. Make a note when it happens. Because I'm literally, I was telling them, like, you know, I believe in stuff, but then you're like, did that just happen? You know, it's like, I'm very, like, skeptical.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, the things that were happening, I was kind of like, oh, this is, and like when the REM pod went off one time, I go, that just, you know, and they looked at me like, really? And I go, I don't have a REM pod with me. And you see it on TV, but it's like, it's really happening. And it's just amazing. Creepy room.
Employee lounge is the creepy room.
Well, that's the original employee lounge from the Safeway. You can go in if you want. Oh, boy. I've seen it. I'll go, oh, all right, fine.
You go.
Somebody did naughty stuff back here. And not just that, but a little bit on the occult side, some of the employees.
Really?
The impression I got was just like, you know, man, I can almost hear a little bit of chanting, like you'd be praying. Maybe they just prayed a lot, and it got so intense they left that mark.
It was a Safeway, and I think it was, for a brief moment, it was an international food store. That's about as much history as I know.
Well,
and that the county has used it for storage until we got it, because we had to move all their stuff.
And to be fair, if it's international food stores hire a lot of people from other countries to work for them because they're familiar with the foods they're getting. And they could have been in here and just doing their prayers type of a thing.
A lot of people don't like to come back here. The people that use this space are the people that do the tie-dye. They have a tie-dye company across the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they use this sometimes when they need more space. And one of the owner is just oblivious, and that's fine. But her, like, other young lady that works with her, she's like, I don't like being back there. Like, by herself, she's like, I don't like being by there. But these are people, you know what I mean? And there are people that sometimes just let me know. They ask me. They're like, you ever feel weird? I go, I'll go back there.
Whoa,
Wow.
What happened?
I just got really good.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same thing coming in here.
See, sometimes my eyesight gets wonky. Like,
Yeah,
all of
that's
it.
what it was.
Okay, I did that because, like, sometimes when I'm in my office, I'm like, what is wrong with my, because I have bifocals. I'm like,
It hit me really just like blurry, like stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just
okay, I thought it was me. I'm like,
weird.
so the effect. So Stargate.
Very nice.
Yep. Mostly this is just more of a photo op type thing, and it's not. It's kind of like sets the tone.
So maybe you did make a real floral.
Huh?
Maybe you did make a real floral.
I didn't know that, but wouldn't that would be a kick in the head? Really? That would be awesome, but not. It would be.
Maybe that's why we were dizzy.
Well, I mean,
The
energy's being transferred.
The amount of volts, the number of instances.
I know.
that's when you start wondering.
See, that's the thing. If we got a portal, then we got to close it. And I even try to make sure, like, mirrors, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I've seen them do, like, when they're trying to, like, see stuff with the mirrors. I go, no.
No, my first impression is, and immediately I thought of like, oh my God, yeah, this is where everybody sits here and does your thinking and your feeling and everything like that. And when you're dealing with everybody, you're dealing it from back here. So the residual energy, it's about up to.
And I'll be honest, so I smudge regularly. As I was telling them, I'm going to try to say this without getting emotional. I've been a hot mess for a little over a year. I lost my best friend who was a huge contributor to the museum. We were friends since 7th grade, and he died suddenly overseas. He was retired, but he still did things over in Afghanistan.
Government contractor.
Yeah, yes. And I got the phone call from him right before he passed here. There's been a lot of upsetness in here, in there. Sorry. Anyway, but there's a lot of him in the museum. Maybe a week or two after my friend passed is when I was sitting here, and I felt someone like right there, which was a first. Usually, it's like the footsteps up and down this hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sign, the galactic station sign. Like right now, it's just doing that, but that's normal.
Yeah.
It was doing like back and forth
Oh, okay.
over there.
In our next episode, you'll see highlights from 2 investigations of the DoodleHATCH property as we attempt to determine who or what is haunting this children's museum. Reporting for Unexplained Cases, I'm Rick Garner.